Hi, welcome to another video on my Arduino Mega2560, including some electronics and more in particular motor and chain with a switch. And last time I tried to get an LED to go either on or off whenever this switch was activated, and I intended to do it with this LED. However, it turned out that this LED was activated. So the question is, why did that happen? And for now this motor is missing for this time, and this motor is not. So oops, not move too fast. So let's see how things work. And right now this fan works. This motor does not work. But also the LED doesn't give a sign of life. Well, they both shine, but they don't respond to the switching. So that is rather peculiar. And it is time to look at the code once again, because last time it did work, although not exactly the way I intended, and now it doesn't do it anymore. Anyway, code time. So when looking at the code, I am using pin 7 and pin 11, and I'm going digital. So what I think I should do is copy this and making this a digital output. Then here 11 may be a good point, but I need another pin mode for being 7 as an output. And then this, I'm going to change this into just input. Which leaves this to be a digital write. With the value. And this of course has to be digital. And course then output value 3 could be just high. So let's see what this brings. And last time also the onboard LED only worked whenever I had the serial monitor present. So I'm starting without the serial monitor and then see what happens. And another thing is I will save this as 7. So compile, upload, and nothing is changing. Absolutely nothing. So now I will start serial monitor. And this makes the onboard LED work. But not exactly the way I want it. Because it flashes it flashes also when the sensor is not being touched. So what I will do, and you can see that here, so what I am going to do is make a delay of 1000, 1 second, compile, upload, see with serial monitor. And this makes on off, on off, on off. So now it is blinking for 1 second. And that is not the idea either. So how do I another point is digital output pin 7. I earlier had digital output pin 11. So the question is, am I using the right port? And I do think I am. Output pin 7 is going straight to the LED on the breadboard, and the LED on the breadboard is just burning like that. So the strange thing is that although I have completely put it up as digital, this is being replaced by this one. What I can do now is change this as well, because I have put pin mode 7 as output. Let's do this. It didn't complain, but let's just see if this works. Now it says I don't like this. digital out pin 7 in 45. Yes. So let's do it like this. This seems to work. But without the serial monitor active, it doesn't do anything. So let's activate the serial monitor. And again, the LED is just blinking with 1 second. This 1 second. So still, it doesn't do what I like. So, let's go to the camera once again and think further. Alright, oops. A short recap on what I did with the code. Here I have digital pin 11, which is the input from this switch. So this switch goes here and goes straight here. Then the intention is to use this LED, and this leads to now digital pin 7, and this LED is burning constantly. So does this LED burn constantly. Now going to the serial monitor. And you see that the LED is just blinking once a second, which is not at all activated by the switch. So the question is, why is it taking this LED? And why it is burning constantly? Another thing is, if and this LED doesn't burn at all. And for a strange reason, this motor is running now as well. But let's by all means focus on the problem of the switch. Which is a very weird one. So, as you can see, it doesn't work. Back to the digital ones. To make sure that contrasting values are being eliminated, I will eliminate all these values. Not this one. I need the motor. as far as I can tell, let's see where the motor is connected to. It's connected to 6, so let's keep that one in as well. Now let's see what happens, because of course if you put something on a line which doesn't change and you put a changing signal on the same line, there's no effect. So let's just see what happens now. Done uploading. No effect. Serial monitor. No effect at all. And you can see that here. Makes no sense. So all analog writes will be off now. And indeed everything stops. I activate the motor. And there's only one motor being activated now. And I will stop that and activate another. And this activates only the LED that I wanted to activate anyway. But if I turn this one off and let's turn this one on, and this one turns on both the onboard LED and the LED I want on. So once again changing. They're both on. And once again they're both on. So let's turn both off and turn this one on. Still both are on. What about now? Now both LEDs are on and the motor is running. And this is for analog output pin 6, which is connected to line 6. And looking at the board, that is the motor. So the motor that is running is this line. And this is without the serial monitor running. So now time for the serial monitor. What will happen is a 1 second flash of the onboard LED, while the other LED just keeps running, keeps burning. So this is all by all a very strange effect, and Since the camera says more, let me return to the camera and then do the exact same thing so you can see what happens. So right now this motor is running, this LED is burning, and this LED is burning constantly because the serial monitor isn't running. So now I will uncomment the first line and comment the motor line. Uploading. And everything stops except for this burning and this one. Now you can no doubt hear and maybe see this one motor running. So let's stop that and uncomment line 3 or line output 4. This one burning and this one burning. And let me start the serial monitor. So now this one is flashing. Let me adjust the camera a bit. You see this one is flashing. Exit serial monitor, the LED stops flashing. And commenting line for output 4 and activating output 2. No change there. Output 6. And there we go. So now I wonder what would happen if I put the if statement for the digital read after the motor. Let me do that. Upload and run. No change yet. Serial monitor. And there you go. No change. Further step, commenting out the delay of 1 second. Nothing at all. Uncommenting the delay, change it to 2 seconds. Nothing happening, but activating the serial monitor. And now you see it is off for 2 seconds. So the big question is, how is this possible? Deactivating the serial monitor. And of course, the signal of digital read 1, digital read 11, sorry, is assigned to the value that is printed to the serial port, serial monitor. So whatever is wrong here, I need to seriously find out the activating stuff, etc. So let's continue with that. For a final attempt, for now, let's do something with the assigned variable. This is digital read 11, which I use here as well, so I just copy this one right in this place. So I don't read here anymore, but I just read here, and that may be, so I read only once now, and that may have been another point. So let's test, and here I change it to 1 second again. So let's just take a look. And of course I have to invoke serial monitor. And it goes no matter what the digital switch is doing. So that has no sense, makes no sense. Let's see what we can do then. I put it in here. So what I can also do is, I don't need these for now, so I comment the whole thing out apart from this one. And let's see what happens then. Well, of course I will only see this. Another point is I want to see what it is at the moment it happens. So I put this one here. I put the tab back, and the command here. So now let's see what happens. There we go. But I need the serial monitor. And to my surprise, it is always 1. And that I had not expected. It is always 1. Which means that there may be a problem with the wiring of the switch. So let me change that. And now I have to take care on how I put things right. Because right now the motor isn't doing anything anymore. But let's check on the switch then. And I'm pressing the switch manually, which doesn't do a thing. So I reroute to and now the switch is completely gone. And they should be here. And there's still no change. So this indicates a direct wiring issue. And this is quite worrisome. Putting it here in another, I'm putting the mass in another mass line, and still no change in the input. So this definitely means that there is something quite wrong here. And what if I command this out and I put this one in here, and let's see. Of course I need this is the monitor for this serial monitor, and now it's 0. And putting it back, again in a different mouse line, which is all 0 now. So there is apparently either a coding or wiring problem, and for now this gives input for a next episode. So which is the real cause of the problems, and with this it is really making sense that something else is going on than I initially thought. Which is partly solved with this, but surely, which is odd by the way, because a variable should make no difference with this, and in here I read it and I just compare 1 with the value that is red. So if you then have this being 0, which makes sense by the way, if I put this in here, and I check it, then it is suddenly 1 again. So that was one mistake. But anyway, I have to check further on this. For now, thank you for watching, and to be continued.